Ever caught yourself wondering what phrases you'd never hear in the lively streets of Dublin? Welcome to the City Guru, where today we're diving into the heart of Dublin's culture by exploring the words and phrases that simply make locals cringe. And don't rush off once we hit number one. We've got a bonus phrase that might just spark World War III in Dublin. Stick around to find out why these words are foreign to Dubliners and share a laugh or two at the city's expense. Let's get started! 10. Ah, would you look? The Coppers queue is massive. May as well head home. In Dublin, especially at a place as iconic as Coppers, also known as Copper-Faced Jacks, resilience in the face of a long queue is almost a badge of honor. This popular nightclub, known for its lively atmosphere and diverse crowd, draws locals and tourists alike, and a long line is typically seen as a sign that the night is just getting started. Dubliners, with their love for a good party and socializing, view these waits as part of the experience, an opportunity to chat, make new friends, or simply soak up the anticipation of the night ahead. For Dubliners, the thought of turning back just because of a long line is almost unheard of. It's more about the story and the experience than the inconvenience. Instead, you might hear a young woman at the end of the queue say something like, "Can't wait to shift 25 fellas tonight and get me whole." A 9. My pint is so cheap. Dublin is a city where the pub culture is an integral part of its identity, but it's also known for having some of the higher pint prices, particularly in the more tourist-centric areas. When locals gather in their favorite pubs, the cost of a pint is often a topic of conversation, usually with a hint of resignation or good-natured grumbling. Pints in Temple Bar, for example, can be over €10 each. In this context, a comment about the affordability of a pint would be met with incredulity or humor. Dubliners are well aware of their city's pricey reputation and are more likely to joke about needing a loan to enjoy a night out than to marvel at the cost-effectiveness of their beverage. You might instead hear a young lad say something like, "That Guinness is a ripoff. Smell of shite off it too, must be a dodgy line. Ah, fuck it, I'll drink it anyway." 8. Look at Key West go. Keep it up, lads. Music holds a special place in Dublin's cultural heart, with the city boasting a rich history of producing internationally renowned bands, such as U2 and the Pogues. Dubliners have a keen appreciation for music, but they are also known for their honest, sometimes blunt opinions. Enthusiastic public support for a band, like Key West, known for their street performances and mainstream appeal, would need to be earned through genuine talent and presence. When encountering a band like this, a Dubliner's approval is not given lightly. While tourists might stop and enthusiastically enjoy any street performance, Dubliners passing by are more discerning. For example, you might hear a local named Shamo say something like, "Fuck's sake, lads, Key West. I'd rather lick me own arse and stick pins in me eyes than watch them." 7. You know what Dublin needs? More donut shops. Imagine wandering through Dublin's bustling streets, where every corner seems to boast a new donut shop. The city's food landscape has indeed embraced this sugary trend, with an array of shops offering everything from classic to gourmet creations. However, Dubliners appreciate variety and quality in their food choices, and the saturation of donut shops has become a running joke among them. In casual conversation or social media banter, it's common to hear a Dubliner sarcastically say, "What Dublin really needs is another donut shop," highlighting the overabundance with a smirk. They value a culinary scene that reflects diversity and innovation, not just the latest fad. Whilst local Blanchardstown scumbags might like a Krispy Kreme for their dinner, the majority of Dubliners are over the donut fad. 6. Oh, I see that young lad has smashed his pint glass. Don't make a big deal out of him. In Dublin's pubs, when a pint glass breaks, it's not just a minor mishap, but a disruption. And Dubliners are quick to ensure the incident is noticed. Far from ignoring such behavior, those present are likely to respond with immediate attention, roasting the poor offender. A broken glass might be met with a collective, the poor young lad is about to get slagged. The individual responsible is expected to acknowledge the mishap by saying something like, "I'm a bloody Egit, that was a full pint of the black stuff." 5. I can't wait to go out in Temple Bar tonight. Temple Bar might be Dublin's most famous area, known for its vibrant nightlife and iconic cobblestone streets, but it's often regarded by locals as a place for tourists. Dubliners, who seek more authentic and less commercialized experiences, might talk about Temple Bar with a hint of irony, especially when planning a night out. While visitors flock to Temple Bar for its lively bars and street performers, Dubliners might prefer the city's lesser-known pubs and neighborhoods, where they can enjoy a pint and conversation without the backdrop of overpriced drinks and crowded venues. If a local mentions looking forward to a night out, they're likely to say something like, "Looking forward to downing a few shots down at the Big Tree tonight." before. So, many landlords have offered me an apartment. I'm just spoiled for choice. Dublin's housing market is a topic of much discussion and stress among its residents. The city is experiencing a shortage of affordable living spaces, making the apartment hunt a significant challenge for many. The idea of being spoiled for choice in such a market is almost laughable to Dubliners, who are more accustomed to fierce competition and limited options. In conversations about apartment hunting, you're more likely to hear tales of numerous viewings, bidding wars, and the struggle to find a decent place at a reasonable price. Dubliners might share their experiences with a mix of humor and frustration, saying something like, "I'm after spending €3,000 to rent a garden shed in Ballymun last month. What a bargain." 3. I've been clamped. Sure suppose I deserve it. Imagine this. You're strolling through Dublin, only to find your car has been clamped. Now, for many Dubliners, this is not just an inconvenience. It's a call to arms. There's a certain pride taken in standing up to what they see as petty injustices, and parking fines are no different. You won't find many Dubliners shrugging off a clamp with a calm, "I suppose I deserve it." Instead, they're more likely to launch into a detailed account of why the clamp is unfair. Dublin streets are a battleground of wills between drivers and parking authorities. A clamped car doesn't just mean a fine. It's a public spectacle, often met with sympathy from passers-by who share a collective disdain for parking restrictions. The typical Dublin response would be more along the lines of, "For feck's sake, the robbin' bastards. Give Jimmy a ring, he has an angle grinder to get this bleeding clamp off me wheel." 2. The M50 was like a ghost town this morning. The M50 motorway encircles Dublin and is the lifeblood of commuter traffic, notorious for its congestion. To say it was empty would be laughable to any Dublin resident who knows it as one of the most frustrating stretches of road in the country. Daily commutes on the M50 are more often characterized by bumper-to-bumper traffic, with drivers sharing a camaraderie born of mutual suffering. Instead, you might hear a local describe the M50 as Dublin's biggest car park. 1. Happy St. Paddy's Day. For Dubliners, St. Patrick's Day is a source of national pride, a day for celebrating Irish culture and heritage with parades, music, and the wearing of the green. Calling it St. Paddy's Day is a surefire way to reveal you're not in tune with local traditions. The term paddy is typically associated with hamburgers, not the patron saint of Ireland, and using it can be seen as a faux pas. The correct greeting, "Happy St. Paddy's Day," resonates through the streets, in pubs, and across homes. Seeing tourists fall out of pubs wishing each other Happy St. Paddy's Day is likely to get them battered by local youths. If you're a tourist in town that day, don't expect a green river, green pints, or the likes. The locals want nothing to do with such silliness, and instead prefer to drink a few cans at home watching tourists make a show of themselves at the parade. Bonus phrase. Well, Cork is the real capital anyway. This statement is a playful nod to the friendly rivalry between Dublin and Cork. While Corkonians might boast about their city's charm, declaring it the real capital in Dublin would provoke laughter or a spirited debate. Dubliners are proud of their city's status and unlikely to concede the title to Cork, even in jest. Imagine a group of Dubliners enjoying a chat in a cozy pub. If someone jokes, "Well, Cork is the real capital anyway," it would likely be met with a mix of humorous indignation and banter. A Dubliner might retort, "Sure, and next you'll be telling us they have the better Guinness down there too." Then he will beat the living heck out of the langer who told the joke. As everyone knows, Cork is a bit of a kip anyway. And there you have it, a playful peek into the phrases you won't hear on the streets of Dublin. We appreciate your support more than you could ever know. Please make sure to like and subscribe to get notified when we post our latest travel tips videos. Until next time, keep exploring and embracing the unexpected joys of travel.